I'm 23 years old, I'm not a native speaker, and I have managed to build a six-figure online business by writing and publishing on medium.com. Hello and welcome to this video. If you don't know me yet, my name is Sinem. I'm a top writer on Medium. I've been published in various different publications such as Business Insider and Thrive Global. I am teaching others just like me who want to start and build a writing business on and off medium.com. And in this video, we're going to talk about how I went from zero to more than 30,000 followers on Medium. And before I dive into a few lessons that I learned along the way, I actually want to give you a bit of background on my personal story on Medium because that's something most people don't know about. And a lot of the time you see people, you see their profiles, and you don't really know the background or the backstory. And I really want to be transparent in that case. I want you to know the whole story and how it all evolved for me. So the truth is that I actually joined the Medium Partner Program back in 2018. So at that time, the partner program was already existing for quite a while. So I was not kind of an early mover. I've actually been quite late to the party. So if you've joined Medium at the very early days, you obviously had an easy time to grow your following and earnings because there have not been many creators. And from 2018 onwards, a lot of writers joined the platform. So there are thousands of people writing on Medium right now. Obviously, most of them don't write regularly, they don't write well, and based on that, they also don't earn well. But yeah, so my story basically started in 2018 when I discovered the Medium partner program and Medium as a writing platform. When I was actually doing a lot of different things and had a lot of things going on. So back then, I've been finishing my studies in business administration. I have been working in a full-time internship and I had a side business. So I've been organizing and hosting personal development workshops, mainly for students. So I'm actually a personal development coach and trainer. So I've hosted a ton of workshops, trainings, and coachings in person, of course, before the pandemic hit, and then during the pandemic, a lot online. And when I discovered Medium, I actually saw it as a way to transform my trainings and my PowerPoint slides into articles. And that's actually what I did. So I joined the Medium Partner Program, and the first thing I did was publish an article within 30 minutes or so. So I basically took notes that I had for a workshop that I just hosted around building habits, and I turned those notes into an article. The article was incredibly bad, so I had a look at that a few months ago, and it's so bad. So it's probably one of the worst articles I've seen on Medium. But the thing is that I started pretty quickly, and I really loved that idea of just sharing my knowledge and ideas and things that I was sharing anyway, just on a different platform. But the thing was that I didn't have a lot of time, obviously. So I've been working 40 hours, I've been studying, and then I had this side business of hosting workshops. So the only time I had left to write was either, getting up at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning and writing before I went to my internship. And then after my internship, I was coming home and yeah, studying for my final exams. And then if that was over around 10 p.m., I was writing again. And on the weekends, I was mostly hosting the workshops. But if I didn't have any workshops, I was writing. So I really sacrificed a lot because I was enjoying that journey. And at the same time, it was kind of a struggle because my main business was in German. So I had no idea how to actually sustain the writing journey and combine it with my existing business. And yet, I managed to write more than 100 articles, even though I was not really earning well. So, based on an earnings report from 2018, I made $18 for publishing, I don't know, I think 20 articles or so in that month. So, it was not really rewarding. But somehow, even though I didn't see the results that I desired, I knew that there was something on that platform that kind of attracted me. And even though I was not able to dedicate a lot of time on it, I kept going. And I kept going until December 2019, when I actually had kind of a yearly reflection and was thinking about how I want to keep going in my business and in my life, and which kind of projects and platforms I want to keep focusing on. And that was actually the moment I decided to take Medium more seriously. And I really validated on all the projects and on different tasks and platforms I have discovered and explored in the past years. And I realized that I really loved writing, and that I especially loved writing on Medium. And that's because of the independency and the freedom that the platform basically gives you if you decide to publish your content there. And I loved that I was not dependent on customers and clients, that I didn't have to pitch, writing clients, that I could basically write about anything that I wanted to write about. And as I mentioned, I have been a coach and trainer in the field of personal development. That is one of the popular topics on Medium, so it was a perfect match for me because it was a way to share more of my knowledge and experience as well as expertise in a written format. So it was just a perfect match for me. And at the same time, I was following a lot of top writers, and I was seeing how many people they were reaching with their with their articles. I was also seeing how much money they were making, but honestly, on Medium, the one doesn't work without the other. So if you want to make a lot of money on Medium, you will obviously, as a result, so it's the result of impacting a lot of people's lives, most of the time positively. Sometimes it's negative articles that do that, but for me it was obvious that I wanted to share thoughtful and helpful content. So it was just a crazy idea of putting my stuff out there and being able to reach hundreds of thousands of people. And that's not what I initially thought, to be honest. And I still thought that it was a good idea to do it. And at the end of December 2019, I basically decided to go all in, or mostly all in, on Medium and give it a shot, give it a try, write every single day, publish it as much as I can, and see where the journey would take me. And honestly, the journey took me to incredible destinations. I achieved goals and milestones that I didn't think would be possible for me personally. And within the next couple of months, I reached millions of people, got published in places like Business Insider, Thrive Global, attracted more than 30,000 followers, and made my first 10-figure earnings on the platform within half a year. So that was an incredible milestone for me. Honestly, I knew that it was possible. I knew that it was possible for anyone. But if you would have told me in December 2019 that I would be earning more than $10,000 through my writing on medium.com in just a few months, I wouldn't have believed you. And it was just surreal. And honestly, what's even crazier is that for me, Medium is a traffic source. So Medium is one way how I monetize my knowledge and community. But what's much more important is that it's a traffic source for my email subscribers, and I'm attracting an average of 100 subscribers per day through the call to action on my articles. And monetarily and on a business perspective, that's way more valuable than what I make on the platform. And yeah, of course, the count or the growth in followers is something that is incredibly important, because it means that I also attract new followers on my email list. So followers per se on Medium don't really mean a lot, especially if you've been on the platform super early and if you kind of attracted all the early readers, because a lot of these people might not be on the platform anymore. But from a growth perspective, if your number of followers is growing quickly, it basically means that you have a lot of people who read your articles and a lot of new people who stumble across your content, which is valuable and worth a lot in terms of email subscribers and leads that you can of course then turn into buying customers again. So that's something super important for a digital entrepreneur like me. And now I want to give you an insight into 3 lessons that actually were surprising for me and that I learned throughout that journey of going from 0 to 30,000 followers on Medium. And the first lesson that I learned along that journey is that you need to keep it simple. And what do I mean by that? So ton of people think that making money on Medium, so when they first hear about that opportunity, they think that it's super easy. They think that they have been writing for ages, they have a lot of ideas, they think that they are good writers, so they join, they publish a few pieces, and then they get angry because they don't see their desired results and they just make a few pennies. And not more. So the thing is that writing and succeeding on Medium is not really easy. There is a lot of competition. There is a lot of things you need to understand and do correctly if you really want to see great results. But it is simple and you can keep it simple. And what do I mean by simple is that you don't need to promote your stuff on social media. You don't need email marketing to build a presence, a following, and an income on Medium. You don't need to learn stuff like SEO. You don't need to design your own website, etc. So if you are into writing, if you like writing, and if you think that you can write at least good enough, and if you're willing to put in the work to understand how to write really well, writing and earning on Medium is really simple. You just need to understand the rules and you need to understand the language of the platform. You need to understand the audience. You need to understand what publications are, what they mean. You need to understand how to get curated and all that stuff. But in the end, it's a really simple process, and there is not that much that's actually holding you back from writing great stuff and publishing it on the platform. Everybody can join the partner program, everybody can immediately publish their stories. So it's an incredibly simple opportunity for people across the world to publish their work and make money. But you need to understand the basics and you need to follow them. And that's one of the reasons why most people don't see great results. They focus on the wrong stuff. They focus on stuff like SEO or sharing their articles on social media. I hear about people, sharing their article links on WhatsApp stories and sharing it with all their friends and family. That's just making it much more exhausting, honestly. So if you want to create great results, keep it simple and focus on the few core activities that really need, like, move the boat forward and move your writing forward. And the second thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand is that it just takes time. And I mentioned that I've started my journey in 2018. I failed a lot, and when I decided to take it more seriously, I again invested hundreds of hours into understanding what I had to do differently. I analyzed pretty much any successful post that was out there. So my boyfriend Philip actually um, gave me a ton of Excel sheets with incredible amounts of data and links to articles that performed well in the past from top writers and I analyzed all of them. I have spent so much time figuring out what I need to change and do in order to write articles that have the best possible chance to perform really well on the platform. And that's something a lot of people are not willing to do. And the reality is, it doesn't need to take you 2 years to make a great income. It can happen really quickly. And I have incredibly great examples of students inside my Medium Writing Academy who have reached incredible results in just a few months after joining the platform. But it's definitely not a get rich quick scheme. So if you join the platform and you hate writing and you expect to become a millionaire overnight, that's not going to happen. And it takes time, doesn't need to mean that it will take you months or years of work, but you need to be dedicated and you need to find resources that really help you understand how it all works. And that's actually the reason I created the Medium Writing Academy, because it's something I wish existed when I started my journey, because I could have saved so much time if somebody would have said, hey Sinem, this article is crap, you need to do this and that in order to write articles in a way that they're actually going to be seen and read by the audience on Medium. And I'm really proud of this resource that I created for anyone who is willing to dig deeper and really understand what the platform is all about. And the third lesson that I learned along the way, that's so obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me when I started, is that human connections really matter on Medium. And when I first published my article back in 2018, I think I published it so quickly because I didn't expect anyone to see it. So I was just like, okay, just click on publish, nobody will see it, and it will just be online for you if you want to go back and review your notes sometime. And when I had the first few views, and I didn't have more than, I don't know, 10 views back then, but I was fascinated then that 10 people saw my article. And I think I was not really aware of the fact that it's just real humans sitting on their screens reading my stories. And that's something you really need to understand and embrace. So you are writing for real human beings. So you need to get into the mode of understanding what do humans need and want and expect in your writing. If you don't manage to build that connection with them on a humane level, it's going to be really hard to attract a lot of followers. And that's true for almost, any field of writing. So especially also for writing that I do, for example, in personal development, I need to understand that it's real humans reading my stuff and wanting genuine value out of it. And that's something that really took me a while. And apart from that, it's also about building relationships with your readers, but also with fellow writers. And what I did when I decided to take Medium more seriously is that I replied to every single comment I received for 6 months. So from January, 6 months, January 2020, for the next 6 months, I replied to every single comment I received, no matter if it was positive or negative. I did that because it helped me to understand who my audience actually was. It helped me understand who the people behind my, readers' stats were. And that helped me a lot in order to, fine tune my writing and write it in a way that connects on an even deeper and emotional level with my audience. And apart from that, what's also super powerful is connecting with other writers who are on the same journey. And if you can connect with writers who are ahead of you and who can really share their failures, mistakes, and lessons learned with you, because there's nothing more powerful than learning from someone who has been there and done that. And if I would start from scratch, I would definitely try to reach out to someone and just make sure I don't repeat their mistakes, because the reality is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. The rules on Medium didn't change that much, so it's pretty similar. Great writing will not change too soon on the internet. So if you have the possibility to work with someone or learn from someone who is ahead of you, definitely, make use of that opportunity. And there's a beautiful quote by John Crosby that says, mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. And that's really what it was when I finally connected with writers way ahead of me, because they gave me that push in the right direction. And that really helped me take it from, 10,000 to 20 and 30,000 followers, to gradually increase my earnings and really understand the mechanics behind a platform like Medium. So that's it. That was my journey from 0 to 30,000 followers, and a lot of lessons learned. I hope that these 3 lessons were also valuable for you. So keep in mind that writing and publishing on Medium can be really simple, so keep it simple, keep your rules and also your writing simple. Don't focus on the 80% of the stuff that actually doesn't make any change or impact in your earnings and in your reach. Focus on the few things that actually make an impact and a difference in your stats and in the way you write. Be aware that it will take time. The more time you can invest in learning about the platform, the quicker you will see the results. You can take a shortcut by learning from someone who has already been there, done that, and if possible, make sure you connect with people on a human level. So even if you just reply to comments of your readers, that might be a really helpful way to connect with them, to understand what their pain points are, what their passions are, and why they actually spent time reading your article. And replying to comments will not necessarily, be a magic change and give you a boost in your views or earnings, but it's a way to understand why people read your stuff and how you can, ensure it connects with even more people. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you enjoyed, give the video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.